Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday evening. Don't mind me. I'm just finishing up my my cameras here. It always takes a lot longer than I anticipate, so I apologize for that. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday evening. You might be catching this on replay, or maybe you're catching it live. Welcome. Let me just go there. Okay, let me just keep fixing my things there as people are coming on in. Can you hear me? I think you can. Okay, I'm just going to check that I'm okay. Sonia's there. Okay, phew. I'm like, am I live? I don't see anyone. Where is everyone? I thought maybe I wasn't live for a second. Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. Okay, I am super happy to be here with you tonight. I'm still fiddling with my lights and my setup and everything. It's still kind of a work in progress. But I'm super happy to be here with you. Live and in the house. I love it. How is everyone? See, I'm fiddling with my lights. I got to try this earlier. Get on earlier. I have to tell you a funny story. I was supposed to do my YouTube live yesterday. Okay, I had scheduled it for the night. You're here, yay! And I scheduled it out. I rescheduled it for the evening. I no longer will be able to do Tuesday afternoons, at least for a little bit. I have a scheduling conflict. But I scheduled it for the evening and then totally forgot that it was my daughter's birthday. How did I do that? I don't know how I did that. So I apologize that I announced I was going to do a live last night over on YouTube and I had to cancel it last minute. I totally forgot. So here I am in YouTube and Facebook. I'm excited for that. Hey, Sue and Michelle. I'm going to fiddle with my camera just a smidge more. See if I can get you a little closer and a little brighter on my card here. Okay, a couple of things. Hello, Angie and Roz. Hello, everyone. The new mini catalog is live, as in, like, you can see it. I can show it. You can earn celebration, right? I can be like, look what's inside now. Before I couldn't. I wasn't allowed to show you the inside. This is live now. It is full of beautiful, beautiful product. Honestly, I bought a lot already and my wish list is still really long. Great, like spring, summer projects, stamping images. It's beautiful. And if you're like me, your wish list is a mile long. Okay, let's just be honest. As crafters, we don't like FOMO. We have the fear of missing out. We want everything, right? Or at least a good number of stuff. So, to be noted, right now, January and February, Celebration is going on. If you're not familiar with Celebration, it's an amazing brochure that is filled with product. Yep, this is it. Product that you can earn for free. So it's got stamp sets. It's got designer paper. It has some, what else? I think that's it. Paper and stamps, I think it is with this one. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful product that you can get for free. Okay. We love craft. We crafters love our stuff, but we love free stuff even more, right? So free stuff with qualifying purchases of either $50 or $100. You're going to notice in your in the brochure, it says like free with 50. Those are our level 1 free items. And then if you go a little further, you'll see like free with $100. Those are our level 2 products. Okay. And you can earn as many as your orders allow. And then you're going to also notice on page 17, hold on, I'm going to do this. Can you see that? Hold on. I'll do this for a second. There we go. Okay. Page 17, we have the Calming Camellia. Is that how you pronounce that? Camellia. No, it's got to be Camellia. It's a stamp set that you can get for free. Okay. And you can get it free with a $300 order. So if you're looking to place like $100 this, $150 this month and $150 next month, go ahead and place one 300 and you'll get the stamp set for free. Hello, Terry. Good evening. Also of note is on page 18, there's a special offer going on with our starter kit right now. It is literally the best value that Stampin' Up! Has to offer, hands down, every single day of the week, okay? But it's even better during Celebration right now. Hold on, let me do this. There we go. Okay. For $99 during Celebration, you get to pick $125 of product. It ships for free. So that's another like 12 and change savings. And now during Celebration, you get to pick 2 free stamp sets of your choice. So you can go through the annual catalog, the new mini catalogs, find 2 stamp sets and you get them for free. Like, oh my goodness. In addition, you'll get like a paper pumpkin kit. You'll get some catalogs and that sort of thing. But here's the thing. If you don't ever want to do a party and you don't want to sell, you don't want to do this, that's fine. There's never any pressure to. You can just enjoy a discount on your hobby. And let me tell you, if you have a long wish list like I do, it's the best way to save a buck. Okay. It's the best value. I really wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't let you know that there's this awesome opportunity for you to save on your hobby. Okay. So that's going on right now. I'd love to talk more about it with you. Just let me know and we can have a chat. Okay. All this week over on my blog, I've been sharing projects featuring the Sweet Conversations bundle. It went live yesterday. Oh my gosh, it's only been 2 days. It went live yesterday in the mini catalog. Let me do this and I can show you a closer look at what it includes. So it has a stamp set, which is super, super cute for all things Valentine's. I love these like little conversation hearts that, you know, you can get and mix and match the sentiments and all that jazz. Really, really fun. The dies that go with it are amazing. Mine are kind of a hot mess because I spent all week crafting with them. They're literally a hot mess. Look at that. Well loved already. This little guy here makes like an envelope. We have a couple of banners. This one makes a tag, and then all sorts of shapes and sizes of hearts. The dies are so, so fun. And see, they coordinate. And so we have a larger heart coordinates with this guy. Hold on. There we go. We have sort of a medium, chunkier heart that matches these guys over here. And then we have like a tall, skinnier heart, and that matches this guy down here. Okay. And it's just really fun. And it coordinates with the designer paper, which is like brilliant. I love when Stampin' Up! Does that and makes stamping so easy. Really so, so easy. Now, Monday, talk about easy. Talk about easy. Are you in a rush? Don't have time to spend a half an hour making cards? Like you literally just need to sit down and whip up a whole bunch of them. Do you need a mass-produced Valentine's cards? I got you. Okay. Really, really quick, simple cards. I made this same exact design a couple of years ago. So I'm kind of casing myself, I guess. But all you do is this is like, and you don't even need a die cutting machine. You don't need a punch. It's literally stamps and paper. Okay. So I have real red as my card base. I have a basic white background. I cut the designer paper on an angle, which just eyeball it. I don't know, more or less. Cut it on an angle, stamp the sentiment on an angle, and you're done. Okay. 3 cards. It was like bam, bam, bam. Okay. Because I did this, I then had the negatives, right? I had these little pieces cut out and I thought, well, what can I do with that? We're not throwing them away. We're going to reuse them. So I took the sort of scraps from that card. And yesterday I showed you this card. This was the one I was supposed to make in YouTube. If you are on Instagram, you will find this card in a Reels. Okay. So if you're looking for a video tutorial, it's over on Instagram today. But I took the negative pieces from this one and this one. This one isn't positional sensitive. Is that how you say that? Meaning it can go either way. So I took both the pieces of that. I put them together, covered the seam with a ribbon, made 2 super cute like mini envelopes and conversation hearts and a little bow, and you're done. There is a little embossing here, although you don't have to do that because you can barely see it, but super, super quick and easy. Hello, Catherine Lee. I'm so happy you're here. Okay. So we have sort of like super easy, a little easier. And again, we're not wasting. I'm using the extra pieces of designer paper there. And then today's card, if you caught it over my blog, so easy. Again, oops, hold on. I put it away. The Sweet Talk Designer Series paper has a pattern. One of the patterns is this guy right here. It's all the conversation hearts. Hold on. I'm trying to find where to put that. It has all different sorts of phrases. I need to get better lighting, people. I need to figure out my lighting. I know it's a little dark for you. You have you're cute, text me, hug me, BFF. I mean, really like love me or love you, excuse me. And whoops, as literally they go flying. And the same dies that I showed you before coordinate. And so we have a larger one that will fit that. The kind of medium chunky one will fit that. All my dies just went flying. The other one's here somewhere. I don't know where it went. Well, the taller, skinnier one fits like this guy here. Okay. And so you have the dies that will work with the stamps. You have the dies that will work with the designer paper. And then you have the dies. If I just want to do like simple hearts, I have dies that can just do hearts as well. So really, really so much you can do. This would work obviously for Valentine's Day. But hearts are also good for like wedding cards, bridal shower cards, anniversary cards. So yes, this is like screams Valentine's Day, right? But the dies and even some of the stamps will work pretty much all year round for a multiple of occasions. And so you're really going to get more bang for your buck. You know me, I'm all for getting lots of ideas and projects and occasions from one single product, right? Okay. So I told you I had a hint, a special little something, and you may already know it, in which case, kudos to you, because this is the first time I'm using it. But it's kind of a trick, a product that we're going to use to make this heart background even easier. Okay, so let's dive in to tonight's card. I did bring my water. Hold on. Okay, Patricia, good question. Good comment. So you're going to notice with the stamped image as well as with the designer paper, the heart doesn't fit perfectly. Okay, it's a little off. It doesn't like perfectly line up. I don't really know how to say it, except when you try to correct it and get it to fit one side, then the other side doesn't exactly fit. And it's just the way it is. So don't feel like you're doing like user error or like, what am I doing wrong? They literally, here, let me show you one I cut out here. It literally doesn't like perfect. It's not like a usual die that perfectly sizes it and comes out. Okay. So just keep that in mind. They're meant to be like that. You're all good. Okay. This is Blushing Bride, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. Hello, Karen from cold Iowa. It is pretty cold here too, let me tell you. And like windy. It was a little windy today, which always makes it feel even more on the chilly side. Okay. So Blushing Bride. I took one of the patterns from Sweet Talk designer paper. That's the opposite side, kind of treats and really fun lollipops and whatnot. But I love this kind of, I don't know what you would call that. It's not a solid pattern. It's got this marble look to it, maybe. I don't know. And this is 4 1/4 by 5.5. It's going to go the entire card front. And if you watch my blog, follow me on Facebook, wherever, I'm a huge fan of designer paper. I'm a huge fan because it does all the work for you, and you can use it as little or as much on a card as you want. So if you're like pressed for time, I just need a card, bam. Designer paper does the work. If you have a little bit more time to do some extra little details, bam, the designer paper does the work. And if you're just looking for like a background, a quick and easy background, bam, the designer paper does all the work. I am a huge fan of designer series paper. So let's not hoard it. Okay, no hoarding designer paper. We got to use it. Okay, so here's our card front. So then I use the stitched rectangles dies, which, by the way, if you don't own, you absolutely need these dies. They are like the essential. My water just tipped over. The essentials that everybody should have. The basics. You need them. Okay. So I use the one that is about, it's about 2 5/8 by 4, give or take a little bit. Okay. And I cut a square, not a square, a rectangle. I told you math isn't my forte. A rectangle out of Highland Heather. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is create my own textured background. Okay. So you could use an embossing folder, go for it, but this is really fun. Okay. So what I used this die here. Okay. It's a really cool die because it cuts out the outside. I don't have any, well, I guess I will in a second. And it also cuts out 6 inside hearts. And so you could do like an outline of red and an inside of white or pink or something and really have a lot of fun with it. You can use it individually, or you can use, you just so much. Okay. So I have a piece of Highland heather. Hold on, it's underneath all my cards that I was showing you. Let me get those out of the way. And what I'm going to use, I put everything on my desk and then I can't find anything. I'm using the adhesive sheets, okay? This is a great, like, tear and tape. You need it. You may not use it on every card. You might not use it every week, but it's just one of those staple things that you have in your craft room, okay? Stampin' Seal Plus, right? You may not use it all the time, but odds are you're going to need it at some point. It's just a staple to have around. Absolutely can be, same thing can be said for our adhesive sheets. If you are working with a very detailed die and you don't want to fuss with liquid glue, that's me. I hate liquid glue. Adhesive sheets will quickly become your best friend. Okay. You get 12 in a pack. I've had mine forever and rarely use it, but it's one of those things that you just like to have on hand. Hello, Trina. Good evening. I want to say good afternoon. If you can see, I don't know if the light will pick it up. There's like 3 strips. Do you see that? Like there's one there and then there's like one there. So what I did is I cut a strip. I figured out how wide my dies were. My die is about 3 1/4 or so. Okay. So I cut a piece of Highland heather that was 3 1/2. I wanted it bigger. Then I cut my strips to 3 3/8. Yes, 3 3/8. I wanted my strips to be shorter than my cardstock. If it's bigger and you run it through your die cutting machine, it's going to stick to the plates. Okay. So you want your adhesive sheet to be smaller than the cardstock you're using, but still big enough for that die to fit. Okay. Make sense? So I just cut this like that. I had 3 3 3/8 strips. So then all I'm going to do is I don't need all of this at once. If you were working on a major project, I suppose you could take out a lot of it, but I just need one of these. And this is sticky. And I'm going to stick this to my Highland heather cardstock. Oh, it's so cool. Okay. Then I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine like this. Cardstock side up. Not like this. No, no, no. You'll have sticky side up. You want the cardstock side up. I'm going to do it off camera. And I would recommend doing it like 1, 2, maybe even 3 times, depending on how well loved your dies are. Okay, let me do this off camera here. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I did it for 3 times. Now, it's not going to initially like pop out like our die really would, normally would, because we're doing cardstock and adhesive, so it's just thicker. So you're going to have to kind of play with it a little. And this is what you're left with. Okay, I always tend to go here, but it's really here. I got to remember that. So I'm going to poke out the hearts, which it's a little tricky because they do have adhesive on the back of them. So it's not like you could throw them in a shaker card per se, but I'm sure there's something we can find for them. Maybe I'll use them on the inside of my card. And then you're going to peel this off. Okay, it just has a backing, and this is sticky now. It's like a sticker. You basically just made a sticker. And I'm going to start offsetting. Like, actually, let me make sure that's straight. I think we're good. And stick it down. It's basically a sticker. Okay, so I did, for my card, you're going to need 7 of these. Okay, that's how many. And I started to take some of the mini hearts off, but when I was taking the little hearts off, it was starting to peel the back, and that wasn't good. So I stopped. But you just pull. Of course, this one's going to be silly. Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on. And then I alternated. So I started like that, and then I did the other one kind of like in it, so to speak. That makes sense. Like that. Whoops. Again, it's a sticker. It's going to stick right down. And then I should have put those 2 a little closer. Okay, comes right off. This one's a little silly. I should have done it so they were actually touching. Do, 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 do. Oh my goodness. I mean, not pull those. So when you put, I had to put a couple of them on together. You may want to do it so they're like overlapping a little, or else you're going to have that little fussy bit that I had there. Whoops. Okay. So now this one, I'm going to go underneath. Okay. So adhesive sheets, they will last you forever. I swear it's just one of those basics that you need in your classroom. Craft room. Not classroom. Well, unless you have a classroom and you think they would help. That works too. Okay. I was trying to think what we could use, because you will get a bajillion of those hearts. And they do have adhesive on them now. So you can't, I was thinking shaker card, but that gets a little tricky because then they have the white background. Okay, 2 more. This would be good if you have letters that you're cutting out. Anything that's intricate, anything that's detailed, and you have a hard time maybe putting the adhesive on. You could use like liquid glue, but this is just like an easy cheat, quite honestly. I mean, they peel right off. Okay, so that's all covered. And then I'm going to turn it around and do a little hair cutting. I'm just going to follow the edge. There are little things down here, believe it or not. Follow the edge and just cut off the excess of the heart. It's going to want to stick to my scissors, but that's okay. So my question is to you, do you guys make Valentine's cards? Are Valentine's cards something you make and create, or maybe you make Valentine's treat holders or something like that? I'm curious to know. I don't send a ton. I like my kids, oops, I'm cutting the cardstock. My kids, my husband, I'll send one to my grandma, my great aunt. But not too many. Okay. Get all that off. Goodbye. Go away. And then this is what we're left with. Let me just make sure they're all stuck nicely. So cool. It's so cool, right? It's almost like so cool you don't want to cover it. So when I made the card, I was like, oh, I did all that and it looks really cool. And then I like cover most of it. So this may be something where you don't maybe cover it as much as I do, or put just a couple of hearts, but I just think that is just really, really cool. And you put that on the front there like that with your Valentine's sentiment and you're done. Like, I just think it's different and really fun. Treat holders for your sister's class. Oh, that's so fun. 3rd graders. I'm sure they love it. Love it. Oh, thanks, Jean. Thank you, Catherine Lee. Just hubby and grandchildren. Yeah, I don't do a ton. Just, like close family. Okie dokie. So then we're going to mat this on basic white, which is, because you're going to want to know, 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. Do you know I almost ran out of my Stampin' Seal refill? I was on my last one and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to order some. So of course I ordered some. Okay, that's that. Okay, now we're going to create our kind of cluster of hearts. Oops. And all I did was I used those dies that cut out, that coordinate with the bundle. And I can use that designer paper that comes in all sorts of colors and sizes of hearts. It's so fun. And I just cut a bunch out. I think I counted 9. There's 9 of them. Thanks, Beth. Appreciate it. Thanks, Karen. Okay, so I'm going to try and follow what I did. We'll see if I can do it the same exact way, but odds are I'm not going to be able to. I wonder what are the odds that I have. I do. My inverted tweezers. I'm going to use them, and I am going to use some liquid glue as much as I don't really love it. Oh my goodness, Karen. I mean, I'm good. I could fussy cut them. I could, but no, I didn't. I just realized I didn't shut my light off. That's probably why you're getting the shadow. I'm sorry. No, I didn't fussy cut, but you will see that they don't come out perfect, like I said. So don't think you're doing something wrong if they're not like perfectly aligned. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't really remember how I did this, so I'm going to look at my sample and try and go off of it. But you're just kind of making a collage of hearts. And for this one in particular, I did follow kind of more or less there was a card in the mini catalog that had kind of a similar thing, like a cluster of hearts. I'm not very good at clusters, collages, clusters, anything like that. I just don't have the eye for it very well. So that's okay. It doesn't mean I don't do it. It just means I need a little cheat sheet. So I went hunting in the catalog and I found one. I could, but why in the world would I? I actually did consider it. Because sometimes it's just easier if you're cutting out a bunch. Like, let me just quickly cut these out as opposed to running them through your die machine. I did consider it. I totally considered it. Okay, I'm really not overthinking this. As you can tell, it's going to look a little different. I am kind of going off of my sample over there, but I don't think I cut as many big hearts. It's going to look a little different. Okay, that one. Let's do this one. Like so. I don't know. How about that? And we'll do the purple one. And do you guys eat conversation hearts? I have a post going up, I think, on Friday about conversation hearts. This guy I'm going to leave to the bottom. I'm going to slip him in. Well, I guess I can do it now. Okay. How about there? I don't know. It's going to look different because I'm not really thinking it. I have tweezers like yours and love them for small detailed work. My downline, she's in here, Karen, she got me them because I was always, well, she got me them to like pick up embellishments because I was always using my scissors for that. But yeah, I love them. I use them all the time. I lose them, of course, but I love them. Okay, I just realized I didn't grab a piece of Whisper White. I'm gonna use this scrap here for the sentiment. I didn't grab it. I did grab my ink though. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp the sentiment from the Sweet Conversations Designer Series paper in Highland Heather ink on a piece of basic white. When I'm cutting something on a very thin panel like that, like this, like it's a very, very thin panel, I usually don't cut my cardstock ahead of time unless I'm doing like a party or a class of some sort, okay, or like a make and takes. I usually, if it's just me, I just stamp it, eyeball it low on a piece of basic white or cardstock or whatever you're using, and then I need 2 pairs of them. And then I pull in my cutter, which I'm going to have a hard time doing because now I have my stand right there. And you're getting, whatever that's called. I'm going to just eyeball it. Just eyeball it. That's what I'm going to do. Like that. Yep, we're good. That's how I do it. It's really hard to cut something that thin and measure something that thin. So even to have an idea as to how tall it has to be, it can be a little tricky. Oh, I have a little smudgy. Did I just do that? Oh, I got to do it again. I'm sorry. That's a little smudgy. Do you see it? How did I do that? There's definitely a smudge there. Okay, we're going to do it again. We're going to pretend like I messed up, which I guess I kind of did. I guess I did. No need to pretend I messed up. So let's do it again. I'm not sure where that, maybe it's, I had a little something on my trimmer maybe. I don't know. Okay, stamp it again. I love the font. I just stuck my finger in the ink pad. I love the font. It's like a really, really super thin font. I love it. So let's cut it again. I'm really going to show you how to cut this so that you make sure you get it right. Of all the things to spend time on, there we go, showing how to do. Oh, and of course, then it doesn't cut all the way. Oh, my gravy. Why is, of all things, the sentiment giving me the most trouble? Come on. What in the world? What is going on? There we go. I heard it. There was a little piece it was still catching on. I heard it cut. And then I think it does this in the catalog too. I really liked it. So they just cut it on an angle. And I like it because it kind of follows the Y. So fun. Just different. And I'm going to want to assemble it. But my mini dimensionals, hold on, are somewhere on this turntable. There we go. Okay. So let's do this. Hold on. Do I have regular ones? I do. Hold on. I know I'm moving. Okay. Let's dimensional this up. like this. Now, Thursday and Friday on my blog, you're going to see 2 other projects using the same exact product. The the Sweet Talk Suite, really, but the Sweet Conversations bundle. So make sure you check out my blog here on Facebook for lots of inspiration, lots of opportunities and different things you can make, switching up the colors and that sort of thing. So that went down with dimensionals. This guy I'm going to put down with mini dimensionals. The mini ones are perfect for little narrow things like this. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of catch it. There's a little space. Is that straight? I can't tell. I'm going to pop it kind of right in that negative. I left a little sort of negative space there. I'm going to catch that like so. And I realized I didn't get my ribbon or my fork, because there's no way I'm not making a fork bow. She used the heart dies on the spot and die cut them out. I did. I'm like, where are the embellishments? I knew I took them out. Okay, I'm using the polished dots. I've used them a couple times already for cards. I love them. They're definitely an absolutely favorite of mine so far. So I'm going to just kind of highlight some of these hearts by putting dots on them. Maybe like that, and then another small one. Maybe over here on the blue one. Okay. And then lastly, I'm going to do a bow, my fork bow, because y'all know me and bows. I don't make bows. I fork bows. That's what I do. So I've done it many times. I'm not going to go over it too slowly, but basically I just use a kitchen fork, a serving fork. I go over the front of the fork, right? Over the front, wrap it around the back. So I almost have like a V going on here. Then this guy, and I say it in my head, over the river and through the woods. I go over this ribbon and then through the center hole, the center prong, I guess, like that. Over the river, through the woods. Then I pull everything nice and taut. I have that ribbon kind of secured between my 2 fingers in the back. Kind of shove this one over to the middle. And then that goes up and over. Up and over. I don't cut my ribbon until I'm done, because there's no need to waste if I cut it too long, or if I do it and it's too short, I can just undo it. I'm not stuck. And then I just tie a knot, a single knot. A double knot will make it too thick. So a single knot is all that you need. Tie it nice and tight, and then slip it off your fork and you are good to go. Oh, I love, what is this ribbon? What am I using? Gorgeous grape sheer ribbon. That is, it makes a beautiful bow. It is like a perfect bow. I love just the look of it. It's very, very pretty. So I'm going to cut one end, and then I kind of hold them together to get more or less the same, size ribbon legs. Who was here a couple weeks ago when I called them legs? Was that that was like before, that might have even been before Thanksgiving. Ribbon legs instead of ribbon tails. Okay, and then that's going to go right there. I'm going to wait to do that because first I just want to do my inside. I was going to stamp hearts, but I have all these hearts that I cut out, and I'm very tempted to put them on the inside. Let's see. I didn't have this on my sample. Like, Jessica's here. I didn't have this on my sample. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I might as well use these hearts. Put a couple of them down there. The hardest part is going to be getting the backing off, because there's really not much to hold on to. So I kind of puncture it with my take your pick tool, and the backing kind of slides off. 1, 2. We're going to do 3. 3 is a great, like if you've ever done any floral work or whatever. My mom worked at a floral shop for a couple of years when I was smaller, and she said everything in odd numbers. Everything in odd numbers. So we're going to put 3 hearts. That's what they say. Okay. Just like that. Keep it simple. We're going to adhere this. This is 4 by 5 1/4. It's always the size that I do the inside of my cards very faithfully. Oops. That's going to go on the inside. Oh, I didn't get an envelope. My goodness. I'm off my game. For the ribbon, I'm just going to put a glop of glue I'm going to put my bow there and then find a block to put pressure on it. I'm going to set that aside. Let's see if I can find, where is the DSP? Here it is. The DSP, another pattern. Oh, maybe we'll use this one. That's kind of a fun pattern for an envelope, isn't it? Let me just cut that quickly. I did not have this ready. I was really good about remembering envelopes, and today I just had a total lapse in my memory. Okay, so we're going to use this pattern, another one from the Sweet Talk. Let me get an envelope here. Okay, am I on camera? I am. A little glue around the outside will do it. And then I kind of lay it down and then push it towards the seam of the envelope because it kind of pulls the glue with it without actually putting glue, because if I were to put glue that close, it would seep out everywhere. Oh, you're getting a glare. I'll put that on afterwards. Okay, and then we just do a little trimming and we'll be done. So mini catalog going on right now, celebration going on right now. Great opportunity to save and get great deals and to get free product. It's so fun. And there's really, really great things in there right now. The hardest part is going to be deciding which one to get. If you need catalogs, you can go to catalogs.jamieb.com. And I was going to say something else. What was I going to say? Oh, and joining. So my team, my art and soul team, we would love to have you join and be a part of it. A lot of fun, no pressure to sell. Honestly, just a great way to join the community and enjoy a discount on your hobby and make beautiful projects. So there's today's card. Be sure to check out the rest of the week. You'll see other projects using this product coming down. Head to jamieb.com for anything that you need. If you have questions, you can get a hold of me that way. I should be doing this. There we go. Let me know if I can help at all. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. I love to help. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So we're going to call it an evening tonight. I will be back. I don't know about YouTube yet, but if nothing else, I'll be back next week here on Facebook. And I look forward to seeing you then, everyone. Have a good night. Take care.